Nobody gets fat from eating chicken breast, brown rice, and sweet potatoes. Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here. Thought I would chat with you guys and gals a little bit about this today. But a quick reminder, if you guys will please click like down below, be greatly appreciated. Follow me or subscribe if you aren't yet, and drop me a comment down below. Thank you so much. And let's get over to the topic. Look, we all know calories in, calories out matters. Okay, we all know this. This is clear to everybody. Anyone who denies this is in denial of reality, everything that happens in the metabolic world, all of that. But that being said, when we understand how calories in, calories out matter, how nutrient partitioning matters, how thermic effect, all this stuff matters, appetite, satiety, let's be realistic. No one who is eating just chicken breast, and I'm using this as a proxy, of course. Obviously, people are going to add other things, but this style of food. In other words, chicken breast, very, very lean, extremely lean protein source. Brown rice, sweet potatoes, what are these? Extremely low fat, fibrous, whole foods that are extremely micronutrient dense, slower absorbing carbohydrates. Okay. These foods do not cause fat gain in humans, and we need to be clear on that. All right? Humans don't store carbohydrates as fat, not to any appreciable degree. And when people say, but it's been measured, there's increases. Okay. When you see that de novo lipogenesis, it is such microscopic amounts that the amount that your body is capable of doing at the most extreme end in a full year is something like 2 pounds. Okay, so if you were to push the absolute limits, and I'm talking the absolute limits of de novo lipogenesis in a human, it's about 2 pounds a year. And none of it's under your skin. Carbon isotope testing have shown that 100% of the fat that you have under your skin, not around your organs, not internally, not visceral, right? But the fat subcutaneous under your skin, 100% of it. And I mean literally 100% of it. Not 99, not 99.9, 100% of it comes from fat that you ate. That's it. Okay. This has been pretty much confirmed in the metabolic ward. They're not finding exceptions. So if your diet's very low in fat, and I'm not saying we all have to follow low fat diets. Let me be clear. I'm going a direction with this. Obviously, there can be healthy fats that we have in our diet. There can be benefits to eating certain healthy fats. Okay? As long as we're clear on that. But when we are talking purely fat gain, that is the only source of body fat gain under your skin. Tiny amounts of carbohydrate can store around organs, but it's a very, very small amount. It will never be enough to make you fat. Okay? In other words, even if you were cut down shredded lean, you could not eat enough carbohydrates for any fat to accumulate from it underneath your skin to lose your cuts. It can't happen. It's all from dietary fat. Okay. So if someone is eating like this, you see where we're going? We're not breaking calories in, calories out. But the other thing to think about, people get super fit. They get super jacked eating this way. Why? Because they're not gaining body fat. In other words, they can eat large amounts of food. They're not gaining body fat. And there's an appetite suppressing side to it. Okay? These foods all suppress appetite. They're hard to overeat. They're hard to overeat. There's a reason these sort of diets are staples for bodybuilders who want lean gains. Right? They work. This is known. This has been shown over and over and over and over. And this is what shocks me. This is what shocks me, in the real world with fad diets and other stuff. Do you people not watch the fittest people on earth? I'm not saying some bodybuilders don't use low carb diets, keto diets, whatever diets. But realistically, when you think of traditional bodybuilding diets, and again, bodybuilders as a demographic, these are the people who have the most muscle and least body fat, like the highest ratios on earth as any group. Okay? These are traditionally how bodybuilders have eaten who stay really lean, get super lean. It works. When we come over to that point, the appetite satiation. And here's the other thing, dudes are like, I can't eat enough to gain muscle eating that way. Really? I mean, okay, add some peanut butter in, problem solved. All right, peanut butter pretty much, anyone who tells me that they can't eat enough to gain weight, peanut butter, automatic cure. This fixes it every single time without fail. 100% success rate. So I don't want to hear that nonsense. Without going to junk food. But over to that point, why are you needing to gain that much weight? So I would ask the people, are you chasing a higher body weight, trying to get monstrously big, or are you just trying to be super fit and make lean gains? Then why do you need to be bulking all the time? Why are you worried about it? Why can't you just focus on body composition? And again, I'm not being hypocritical. I'm a guy walking around at 220 right now, but I'm talking to the people who say, well, I just want to be fit. You're not trying to be 220 pounds. If you're not trying to be 220 like I am, then why are you worried about that at all? If you're 170 pounds right now, or 180 or whatever you happen to be, see where we're going with this? Do you want to be bigger than that? Like, you're like, well, no, I'd like to be 180, but a lot leaner. Well, then why do you need to overeat and do a crazy bulk? You can eat lots of healthy food like this and get there just fine. Okay, but back over to that point, you're not going to gain fat. And this goes to the general population also who do all these goofy fad diets and other things. I just gain fat. No, just literally eat like that. Lean proteins, low fat carbohydrates, fruits, vegetables, grains, tubers. If you people just ate like that and kept your fat really low and ate just whole foods, you would all lose weight. There would not be a single fat person on the face of the earth. Let me be clear on that. I don't care what your genetics are. I don't care what your predisposition is. Everybody walking around out there who is not at a low body fat would get leaner. Not one of you would be gaining significant body fat. Okay? Again, this is easy solutions. These are not complicated. People have overcomplicated this and there's no need for it. And people say, well, you still got to count calories. Do you? Are you sure? You telling me the average person, if they start exercising and they live on pretty much chicken, brown rice, sweet potatoes, that they'll have to count calories? I'm going to say they're probably not. They're going to start losing body fat purely due to the shift in thermic effect, the shift in appetite, the satiety, everything else. Very few people can maintain weight if they're overweight eating like that. You have to have a crazy appetite like me. Like I can get away, I can eat like that. But I've also been well over 300 pounds, bottomless pit appetite. I'm a small demographic. All right, guys, but that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I'll talk to you guys and gals next time.